So what else? Give us some more examples of things that you can handle with flat files.
So you know, back in the wild west, when Amazon was pretty much open and everybody was hijacking listings and UPCs, and then if you had a discontinued product, somebody else would jump on and use all of the reviews for that. Sometimes that can be the flat file can be used to kind of gain control of that back. But basically unethical sellers can also use this technique. It's a lot harder now because of brand registry and, you know, the fact that in the file itself, it's a default brand of whatever that product is. But, you know, there are ways around everything. So,
yeah. You know, there's something also I want to mention. It's come across a few times when I was working on with flat files. So you upload first of all, especially when you're creating a listing or even when you're making a change, first time you upload it, don't think that it's going to go through without any errors, right? So be prepared to always try several times, because it's never smooth sailing when you are using these feeds, right? So that's psychologically, and I've been working on the Amazon, you know, different Amazon accounts for 20 years now, and every time I submit a flat file and it comes back without error, I'm like excited.
yeah, that's true.
So that's how you have to feel. So
well, and part of that, if you don't mind me interrupting, part of that is too that Amazon changes they update those templates constantly.
right.
And it could be, that's why if you have a flat file that you've created, you can't necessarily reuse that again, even a week later, even a few days later, because you don't know when they've updated it. But typically that's where you get the errors and you realize, oh shoot, I have to go get a new template and start all over again.
Yeah, exactly. So two things that I noticed. First of all, when you submit your feed, it and the way it processes now is different than how it used to be. So now it's kind of it starts spinning while it's processing. Before, it used to just give you the batch ID and then you would wait and then it would show up. So now it comes back and it says download processing errors or whatever, or if it's 100%, say you submitted 7 out of 7, green check mark, off you go. So it's going to be a while before you see green check mark, so you have a file there. So you download the file and you open that, so it has multiple tabs, and the tab that you want is the feed processing summary, right?
Yes.
So you look at feed processing summary, and it says, it gives you a list of which columns have problems. And then it says column AJ. And then whatever that is, price, whatever, offer. And then you open your feed and you look at AJ. AJ has something different, right?
Yes, exactly.
So tell us why that is and how to deal with it.
You know, it's a good question. You basically have to look for the title of the column. And, you know, if you're familiar with flat files, you kind of get an idea as to where everything is in it. They are color coded for certain sections, but in general, yes, you have to just kind of do a little research. And sometimes you won't notice, but lately the templates, you can't see it, but you have to expand the columns. Like there are two different ways. There's the, I don't even know what it's called. It's 1 or 2 up in the top left. And 1 is just the basic information and everything else is hidden. And if you click 2, then it expands all the columns out so that you can see most of them. However, one thing you don't realize is you still have to take some of the columns and expand them to find all of the other hidden areas. So if you get an error report and it says this error and you go back to your own file and you try and find it and it's not there, it's probably in one of those columns where they've hidden it and you have to expand it. It's manually. It's infuriating.
Well, you know what I discovered? This is what I discovered. So take that example of an error came back and said column AJ. And then you open your feed, column AJ is something totally different. But if in that feed processing summary file, you're looking at the feed, in that file that you downloaded, that the tab has the tab that's called feed processing summary that says AJ. There are other tabs, and one of them is the template tab. If you go to the template tab and look at what column AJ is, that is the correct column. So what they are doing is they are taking your feed and giving you back what you submitted in the template tab, but with totally different column numbers. And then they refer to the new renamed column number or cell reference, I should say, as the problem. So don't look at your original feed. Look at the template inside that file that you download once the processing is completed. Then you can say, oh, this is the column they're talking about. Then you can go to your original and fix the stuff. And by the way, in that feed processing summary, you go to the template part, it also shows you where the error is.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I just discovered this by coincidence because I never look at the template tab. Because I know, I have the template. I know the template. What's the error? Just tell me the error. I'll go fix it. Well,
That's
good
true.
luck finding it.
Well, and in that processing report too, they take the first one or two columns and they, that's where the errors are and the success, which kind of pushes all of the other columns